Meet my bride, let's go for a ride in my newfangled automobile. Here's where we will go. Nobody knows, but it's sure a great way to feel. Behind the wheel of the speed meter steel, it's my newfangled automobile.
Hello and welcome to Vintage Car History. I'm Wild Bill. In 1961, Carroll Shelby worked with a British car maker, AC, to make the Cobra. The AC Shelby Cobra was an icon of the sports car and supercar age, and Shelby would go on to many more successes from there. And though movies would be made about Carroll Shelby, let's not forget the company that made it possible for Shelby to make his name, AC. AC, also known as Auto Carrier, can trace its roots back to South London, where the company was founded by the Weller brothers in 1900 as the Weller Brothers Engineering Company of West Norwood, London. John Weller, the older brother, was the engineering genius behind the company, and the firm offered mechanical repairs of engines and other components found on all automobiles and motorcycles. The following year, they added vehicle manufacturer to their offerings. John had already begun to invent and file patents, including one for a motorcycle with the engine mounted in the wheel hub. John had a vision to make cars, and he found support in another local businessman, John Portwine. Portwine was a butcher and owned a large meat processing and distribution business. He saw the potential in Weller's designs and provided the finances to build the first car, the 20-horsepower Weller, in 1903. First shown at the Crystal Palace Motor Show, it was impressive. Straight four-cylinder, cast in two pairs, it sported 3-speed transmission and final drive via side chains to the rear wheels. An impressive car, and it did get some media attention, but Mr. Portwine saw an impending problem. It was a great car, but was way too expensive to build, and getting it into production was itself a tall order. He suggested that instead, Weller should focus on designing a small, inexpensive commercial vehicle. His design, named the Auto Carrier, which became available in 1904, was nothing less than brilliant. It looked something like a 3-wheeled pickup truck being driven backwards, yet was wide in front, nimble, and held the road well. A single-cylinder engine of about 5 horsepower was under the driver's seat, which was behind the cargo bed, which in turn drove the rear wheel via chains. John Weller invented a new transmission for this car, a 2-speed elliptical gearbox that was mounted inside the rear wheel hub. This was quite an advantage as the transmission was completely encased in the hub, which protected it from the elements and road hazards. The small utility truck was an instant success, with fleets of them being purchased by companies wanting to make local deliveries. Over 1,000 of them were built by 1907, which is when they came out with a passenger version. Properly called the passenger carrier, it was more commonly referred to as the Sociable. That same year, the company's name was officially changed to Auto Carrier, with the AC logo being authorized and first seen on the early Sociable cars. Business boomed, and by 1911, the company outgrew its old factory and so moved to a new facility at Ferry Works at Thames Ditton. Larger engines of 8, 10, and 12 horsepower also came into the offing, and soon it was time to offer 4-wheeled cars along with their very popular 3-wheelers. The first such car to be produced by AC came in 1913 with the 10-horsepower model. A small but smooth straight-4 engine of just 1.1 liters powered the 2-speed elliptical transaxle transmission via a drive shaft. It was another well-built and designed light car by AC, and full production was planned for the following year. Unfortunately, World War I got in the way of this new light car, and very few were built before the factory was requisitioned for the war effort. After the war, Selwyn Edge would take over the leadership of AC, and the company moved towards racing and sports car production, which is a tale for another day. Auto Carrier has had its ups and downs as a company, having been purchased and reorganized a few times over the decades. Yet the company that gave us the Shelby Cobra is also one of the longest lasting car makers in all of Britain. Thanks for watching Vintage Car History, and we'll see you next week. Peace.